What is up, you horror nerds? It is me, your host, once again, Jeremiah Duncan. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing one for you that's in a series that we have almost all seen, but we need to talk about it. I'm talking about the second installment of the series, Saw 2. This came out in 2005, is rated R, runs for about 93 minutes. And if for some reason you've lived underneath a rock and you have not seen this, let's get you connected. Jigsaw is back, baby. That's ad-lib. All right. The brilliant, disturbed mastermind returns for another round of horrifying life or death games. When a new murder victim is discovered with all the signs of Jigsaw's hand, Detective Eric Matthews begins a full investigation and apprehends Jigsaw with little effort. But for Jigsaw, getting caught in just another part of his plan. 8 more of his victims are already fighting for their lives, and it's now time for Matthews to join the game. So this one here, I actually thought was pretty good. You know, it's hard to beat the original. This was directed by Darren, Lynn, Bousman, who of course did Saw 3, Saw 4, also did Repo, the Genetic Opera. It was written by Leigh, Whannell, who actually, with James Wan, of course, story, also did Saw and Insidious, worked on those movies as well. So now, this does still have Tobin Bell in it, who of course is just the franchise face of Jigsaw. He's been in several other movies that I've reviewed, and I like him as an actor. He's pretty good. This also has old Donnie Wahlberg in it, and of course Dreamcatcher, The Sixth Sense, you know, and those type of movies. You know, he does pretty good. I enjoy him. He even does good in comedy. I'll give him that. And of course Shawnee Smith, who for some reason I've always had a crush on because she's just a great actress, and I just love her just like energy and vibe on film. Of course, she was in The Blob, and of course a recurring role in the Saw movies. Now, this shifts the franchise a little bit from kind of like single room traps to like group survival horror, which is pretty cool. They kind of up the ante a little bit on that. And of course, Jigsaw becomes more philosophical and talkative, and you know why he's doing this, you know, kind of adds to the lore of it, you know, and it's got some really memorable house settings, and of course escalates the trap intensity on this, because of course this is why we're watching Saw. Let's be honest, we want to see the creative kills, we want to see what is going to happen, and just are they going to be able to get out of it, or do they want to get out of it, you know. Now I will say for this one, some of the lowlights are some of the characters are kind of thin in this one, and it's mostly defined. They're mostly defined on how they by how they die, which is kind of a bummer, but again, that's kind of why you're watching it. The plot relies heavily, of course, on the twists and the timeline tricks, which can kind of be a little distracting at times. It's less raw and intimate than the first film, but still it's okay. You know, I mean, it was originally developed from a separate script titled The Desperate, before being reworked into a Saw sequel, actually. They made it on roughly like $4 million budget or something along those lines, and I think made over 147 million worldwide. The franchise is obviously successful, so I mean we can't argue that. It's actually Darren Lynn Bousman's first entry into the franchise, which is pretty cool. And it cemented Saw, of course, as an annual horror series through the late 2000s. So, I mean, that's why everybody knows it. Now, I will say, overall, though, it's a solid movie. It's not bad. It's a sequel, and that's sometimes those are kind of turd out on us. But it's a solid sequel to the Saw franchise, leaning more into the traps and those type of things. I think the moral games and like the things that people kind of expected to see. There's, you know, more than kind of the mystery of what's going on. There's not a cat and mouse as much. It's not as shocking as the original, of course, but more confident and brutal. But I thought it was okay. I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Saw 2. If you've seen it, comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, subscribe, hit the death bell for notifications. I got more coming to you. Stick around. You say you don't need me now, but I'm trying.